All right, so today I am joined by famed actor and comedian Tim Murray. How are you doing today?
I'm so good. Thanks for having me.
Of course, thank you for being here. So let me begin by asking, how excited are you for or to tour witches around the country again?
I am so excited. I love touring. I love going to different cities. I always say touring is like no matter what's going on in your life, when you pop up in a different city, it's like a whole new clean slate. And you're like, oh, okay, I
Mhm.
could do anything I want here. I could be anyone I want. I could meet any new gay person I feel like meeting.
Yes.
Like my life is so different here. And I just honestly really love this show and I love playing to get queer audiences. So
Mhm.
I'm so pumped.
Awesome. So this is the second
Yeah.
time you're touring this production?
Yeah. I did
Okay.
it last fall as well. It's very like Halloween vibes show. So I do it September and October
Okay,
um,
awesome.
last year too. Yeah.
Nice. So for those who have not seen it yet, what can audiences expect and how is this tour different from the previous one?
Audiences can expect a wild, raucous, hilarious night where you're seeing a show that you will leave saying, I have never seen anything like that before. It's part drag, part stand up, crowd work, original comedy songs about witches. I even improvise a song about witches, and you will leave gagged
Okay.
is the word I would use.
Nice.
And if you saw it last year, there's a bunch of new stand-up jokes and updated jokes in the show, and there's a brand new song about a certain sea witch.
Okay, a certain sea witch. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
nice. So, what do you ultimately always hope audiences take away from a Tim Murray show?
I hope you leave feeling like you just hung out with me.
Okay.
Yeah. Like if you like my personality or you like my videos online, I hope that if you've seen me live, you get a taste of what it would be like to be hanging out in my living room. That's
Okay.
always my goal as a comedian. I just heard Jerry Seinfeld say sketch comedy and acting are about being someone else, and stand
hmm
up is about being as much of yourself as humanly possible.
Okay.
And that's what I love about being up there is I really feel like it is my medium because I am just being myself.
So you like to try to make this
Yeah,
very personable.
very.
hmm
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so in the press release I received, it reads from The Craft to Wicked to the Sanderson sisters to Sabrina Teenage Witch and Angelica Houston's Grand High Witch. You celebrate famous sorceresses throughout history and use their stories as a parallel to the queer witch hunt. So, how did this production initially come to fruition? Why did you want to do this specifically?
I saw my friend Matt Rogers' Christmas show,
hmm
and it was like an entire hour of musical comedy about how much he loves Christmas. And I just left being like, okay, I sing, I write music. Like, where is my version of this? I need to do something like this. And then the second I left the theater, I was like, oh, Halloween. Like, I love Halloween and I love witches. And a lot of people on the internet know how much I love Wicked. So that was kind of my door into it. And then it just sort of wrote itself very easily. It just, the parallel of like how queer people feel other like witches, how we have these, this secret that we have to keep from everyone, but it's
hmm
actually our special powers. And then I, honest to God, just love witches so much that it was very easy to write about this topic and to come up with comedy about this topic because it's just something that I genuinely have a great time
hmm
thinking and talking about.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. And it's also a tribute to LGBTQ plus people and how we discover our magic once we find our own coven, correct?
that is correct. Yeah, it's that's sort of the thesis of the show is that like, you know, as a scared little gay boy in Ohio, I didn't feel like I knew how to be myself,
hmm
and I spent most of my life, my young life, trying to pass to fit in, and then it was, when I went to college or when I moved to New York or LA and I started finding gay friends that I could be openly myself with, it
hmm
was like, oh, this is my coven. This is the goal I always had for myself as like a little boy when I wanted to like go sit at the girls' lunch table
hmm
and be myself. And now, you know, when you're on Fire Island or Palm Springs or you're, at a musical with your gay friends or watching YouTube videos, that's your coven.
Definitely, exactly. So who is your absolute favorite witch?
Elphaba, the Wicked Witch of the West, is my
Okay.
all
Okay.
time all time fave. Yeah,
So why her?
I think one of my like core memories as a kid is watching The Wizard of Oz and just like the pageantry and the over the topness and the just fabulousness of the Wicked Witch of the West. And I think a lot of gay people gravitate toward villains
Okay.
because they're the most interesting. And I think there's a small part of us that feels like we're bad.
Hmm.
Like, like we're gonna get found out, or I grew up like Catholic, so like I really remember like being a little kid and telling myself like what you are is bad
Hmm.
and you need to fix it. And watching these villains just like own who they were, it was always like you're always kind of as a queer person looking for the other side of the story. Like,
Hmm.
oh, what if they're really not? Like, what if they're not as bad as this story is trying to make me think they are?
Yeah, definitely. I could agree with that because growing up, I grew up Catholic as well, but I always was drawn to the villains. Like almost every Disney movie, I love the villains. I still love all of the villains, and they're just so much more fun and they're more interesting as well.
Exactly. Yeah. You're like, there's a lot more going on here. I don't want to
Yeah.
be like the perfect protagonist. And I'm not going to wear plaid. Boring.
Exactly. Yes. Just
No.
paint your face up in green, and put on some black, and you're ready to go.
Hello. I also think a big part of it as a kid is the wigs, like the hair of it all. Like, I didn't want pigtails. I wanted like a long ass black wig.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Love it. So, which is your first major national tour?
I tour with my friend Michael Henry.
Hmm.
And honestly, even before touring with him, I started touring stand up a little bit. Definitely nationally, but this is definitely the biggest one. This is a
Biggest one.
26 city tour in 2 months.
Hmm.
So this is for sure the biggest, but I have been touring for a while before
For a
this.
while. Okay, so what every tour that you do, what do you always hope to personally gain from this experience?
I want to feel like I am really honing my craft
Hmm.
and getting to a level of excellence that you'll see on TV one day.
Okay, okay.
Like
Awesome.
I'm getting my 10,000 hours in, and I feel like I'm really deep in those 10,000 hours now. Like I'm toward the 10,000 mark at this point. And I feel like I want you to think, whoa, I got to see him before he was famous.
Gotcha. Love it.
Yeah.
And so you kicked off this newest tour, or not? I guess I wouldn't say newest. I mean, which is again in the UK earlier this month. How did that go?
It was amazing. It's
Amazing.
so harrowing and scary and exciting going over there because you're truly just like, I hope people come. And
Hmm.
like, I don't know that people know this about the algorithms, but TikTok is like where I have my biggest following,
Yeah.
and it doesn't um, go over there very easily. Like the
Okay.
videos don't make it over there. TikTok like puts the videos out in the area that you are currently in, like wherever your phone is.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah, if you're in LA, like those are where most of your views are going to come from. Um, so not having lived over there and also not knowing as many people over there, I was like, God, I hope people find out who I am, and I hope they like the show, and I hope they show up. But they did, and I did the show there last year, and so many people who saw the show last year came back again this
Good.
year to see it again, which was like such a beautiful thing. Yeah.
Definitely. Is there a part of the show that is your absolute favorite to perform?
There's a song called Dr. Dillamond's Lament, which is um, about the goat man from the musical Wicked coming out of the closet. And it's just a really fun, it's a number of people like lose their minds for, and the applause is always wild. And it's just a really, it's more like a character sketch comedy, like SNL type of song.
Hmm.
And I have been doing so much stand up that's so just me that one is really fun to jump into like a whole other side of me. And then my other favorite thing is I improvise a song in the show every night. And obviously that's different every night. And
Hmm.
that's always really challenging and really fun.
Nice. Awesome. So, have you always had this passion and desire to pursue a career in entertainment?
Yeah. ever since I was little, like I remember doing stand up for the first time in the fourth grade at a talent show.
Hmm.
And like the first play I ever saw, I definitely remember thinking like, whoa, I love this so much. I wanna do that.
Okay, nice, nice. And yeah, some of my favorite work of yours includes Michael Henry. I love the dynamic duo chemistry that you both have. How did that friendship come to be?
COVID.
COVID? Okay.
I moved to Los Angeles maybe like a year and a half before the pandemic, and we had known each other from making gay comedy videos on the internet,
Mm.
so we were like internet friends, and we'd met a few times, and then when I moved here, I was like, hey, I just moved to Los Angeles from New York. I don't have any friends here yet, so I would love to hang out if you want to hang. He was like, oh, where do you live? And I had moved 3 doors down from him
Nice.
randomly. And in Los Angeles, that's like crazy. It's such a spread out city,
Yeah.
literally on the same block, like 3 doors down. So when the pandemic hit, we became a pod because he was so close that we
Mhm.
would just go on walks every day. And we just got closer and closer from spending so much time with each other. And then I was like, you really should tour doing your stand up and we should do it together. It would be so fun. I was like, I have already been booking my own tours so I can help us like figure out where to play and how
Mhm.
to negotiate and all of that. And he was like, great, let's give it a go. And we tried it in New York and then it took off from there.
Okay. Nice. It was meant to be, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Love it. And now you two have a new sketch comedy TV show that is set to make its debut next year. Is that correct?
yeah.
Yeah. Tell us more about that.
I'm not supposed to talk about it too much
Okay.
because I think they want to do their own press release for when it really is time to announce. So all I can say is that Trixie and David Silver, her partner, are co-producing it with D. Marie Productions,
Trixie Mattel, right?
and more Trixie Mattel, yeah, and more will be revealed soon.
All right. Perfect. Well, it's something to
Yeah,
be on the lookout for. Yes. So,
yeah.
so what are some other future goals you hope to accomplish with your career and platform?
Oh, what a funny question. I have so much I want to do, and I used to think that was a negative thing about my career that I was like, oh, what am I? Am I a stand-up comedian? Am I a playwright? Am I an improviser? Am I an actor? And Witches has shown me that I can incorporate all of those things
Hmm.
into one show. So I really want to just keep that momentum going of like, okay, you only get one life actually. This is a positive. You have the opportunity to do all these things. So I have a play that I've written about sort of an abusive college professor
Hmm.
that is like a wild comedy. I want that. It's called The Mentor. And it's kind of like a gay All About Eve.
Okay.
And I want that to debut live on stage. I want to sell my TV shows that I've written, my scripted ones. And I'm currently writing a new parody musical that I think will debut next year. And then I want to have my stand up special air on TV.
All right. All right. Have a lot of things you want to do. That's perfect. Love it.
Yeah.
All right, Tim. Well, how can one stay up to date with you the best?
You can follow me at tmurray06 on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube.
Okay, perfect. Then before we wrap up, are there any other upcoming projects or anything else you'd like to mention or plug at this time?
No, really, just come to Witches, and then Michael Henry and I will be back on tour starting in the winter. So come see us.
All right, perfect.